Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is the Rice News analyst, Emmanuel Great Malabite Ifeni.
Good morning,
Malabite.
Dr. Ruben Abati.
Action.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Mr. Ifeni.
Good morning, Jinix.
We were coaching him the whole time you were gone. Good morning, Mr. Ifeni.
Now, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Adebanjo replies Akande, ask him, Tinubu, to explain their sources of wealth. Leased properties he disposed to build Lekki Home. Oyinlola, that's Olagunsoye, Oyinlola, former governor of Osun State. How Akande awarded 800 million naira contract for construction of a government house after he lost election. Yes, there will be rebuttals, there will be responses, and we are seeing them in tons. Rufai. You are expecting that from Mishore?
Yes.
You are expecting from the estate of
the
Oni of Olugushe II,
yes,
right? So
the former Oni.
the late Oni of Ife. Now, Pa Adebanjo was on a program last night, and of course we read his detailed response on the morning show yesterday. And the elder statesman, Pa Adebanjo, was at a point even asking, why did God spare my life to even be hearing all this rubbish? But again, yes, he was only talking about the scripture, Isaiah 57:1. Merciful men are taken because of the evil to come. But again, he realized that perhaps God spared his life so that he would be around to also tell his story, because if he were dead before now and these allegations, he wouldn't have been in a position to tell the world the number of properties he sold. And some of those properties were quite interesting, bit of history. The property his mother bought for £20. Big money at that time. But again, we'll hear more responses, but like I've said yesterday, for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has been alleged to have built for Adebanjo, and now also alleged to have helped Akande acquire properties, he has to speak out. Otherwise, if he doesn't speak out now, those questions will be waiting for him when he eventually declares his intention to run formally. Now, another story on front page of this day above the masthead, Yari at Media Summit tells true story of how APC was formed. And if you read this story, the real progressives, according to Yari, included himself, Al Makura, Kayode Fayemi, and a certain Rotimi Amishi. They were the ones that actually came up with the idea of forming the APC. I know that's another story that will receive some rebuttals in the days ahead. Now, the Guardian newspaper concerns as hope dims for amended electoral bill. Buhari departs Abuja for Turkey Africa Summit, returns on deadline day. Lawmakers proceed on Yuletide recess. Turkey trip stalls National Assembly leaders' last effort to save amendment bill. Fate of Ekiti, Osun governorship polls hangs over stalemate. Yes, 2 days to go, as it were. The president jetted out of the country yesterday. He will arrive on deadline day. Will he now just come in, sit down, and sign this bill into law? If he does that, will that receive some applause? I will not join in giving any applause if that happens, because we expected him to have done that before now. And if it doesn't, of course, I will join those who will call out the president for not doing the needful. He wrote to INEC. I'm not aware that INEC has refused to respond. But the Punch newspaper is also reporting that the president asked for the views of the Attorney General of the Federation and According to the Punch newspaper, AGF, the Attorney General of the Federation, writes Buhari, says mandatory direct primaries will cause confusion. So, you now want to know the advice that the president is receiving. Malami's office sent its position 2 weeks ago, says Ministry of Justice source. According to the Punch newspaper, constitutions of parties stipulate direct or indirect. Amendment will be difficult. Yes, according to this report, since both direct and indirect primaries already enshrined in the constitution of the parties. If you pass this law, what will the parties do? Will they follow their constitution or follow this new law? So it will cause confusion. Confusion, according to this report. So we are still waiting for the president. What will happen? Some have said the president will not sign. There are others, like Ruben Abati, who believe that the president will sign. Somebody who has been in the presidency before, Abati, so you know much about that. Will the president sign? He has 2 days to go, Ruben.
Well,
You've been optimistic about this.
Well, if he doesn't sign,
yes.
I mean, the processes for, transmitting a bill to the president and getting his assent or non-assent, these are constitutional matters. The National Assembly has a prerogative for vetoing the president. But with this National Assembly, which openly admitted that it's a rubber stamp assembly, have the courage to veto the president. And as I've always said in this particular matter, the only consolation we have is that we're not exactly faced with the 2018 situation, whereby the presidency gave the excuse that there wasn't enough time. We still have substantial time for this issue to be trashed out. Now, what makes it even a bit more political is the difference, the stark difference between the lawmakers and the governors and the power play around this particular matter. But I think whatever is decided at the end of the day is internal democracy processes within the political parties, that would need to be emphasized, which was the original position of the Independent National Electoral Commission after the review of the outcomes and the processes that governed the 2019 general election. And talking about the president, I don't know whether I missed that. Today is his birthday. He's 79 today.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Although he's on international assignment. So let's join others in congratulating him. Well, I mean, and as an aside...
As we urge him to sign.
Yes, and as an aside, I noticed that, not too many adverts in the papers, except in one paper, Daily Trust. So there are questions here in terms of the placement of the adverts. Is it that the president has more supporters in a certain part of the country? Or is it that, this has nothing to do with it? But whatever it is, usually we say that people should not use public funds, to place advertisement. But Garuba Shehu has written a very, long essay on what the president has been able to achieve on the occasion of his 79th birthday. But I understand there isn't enough time to interrogate some of the issues raised by Garuba Shehu. But I hope that they know in the presidency that when anybody is celebrating birthday, whether the person is president or citizen, there are serious implications.
There are implications. Ruben's implications. Garuba Shehu and Femi Adesina, they should take notes.
We'll have time to do that on one.
I think we'll still have some time.
I think we have to go now.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ifemi.
Okay, well,
see you tomorrow.